Sakshi, do you want to do audio video check? Anybody else?
My screen is visible.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. You're audible.
Yeah, hi. Good evening.
Hello, Toastmaster Achir.
Hi,
evening.
Himani. Toastmaster Himani.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello. Can you all please switch on your camera? Toastmaster Rashmi. Toastmaster Kshitij. And please rename yourself as well. Ritesh, do you know how you can just go to more option? You can find an option to rename yourself. More.
Okay.
And then you can rename in the participant list.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible
Okay.
and visible too. Toastmaster Jyoti, shall we start?
As Toastmaster Himani, I think we have enough people.
Yeah.
So we are good to start.
Okay. So a very good evening, Toastmasters. I won't start when I will not hear this enthusiasm-filled word.
Good
But very good
evening.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good
evening.
Wow, good evening. So I, Himani Singh, Sergeant at Arms for the club, welcome you all to 34th meeting of Weave to Lead Toastmasters Club. So let's have a big round of applause. Firstly, let's state some ground rules for the meeting. First of all, please switch on your video to make the session more interactive. So I request Toastmaster Kshitij and Toastmaster Ritvik. Okay, so at Toastmasters, we try and use English language as the mode of communication. If you use any other language, please provide it translation. Do not talk about sex, religion, and politics during the meeting, as it can hurt others people's sentiments. Do not prompt the speaker.
Are you all able to hear Toastmaster Himani?
No.
मैम अब आपकी आवाज
That's correct.
Toastmaster Himani, are you still there? Let's. I think the network is dropped off. Toastmaster Himani, are you still there? She's dropped off. Let's just wait for a second for her to join back. Yes, she's back. Toastmaster Himani? I think she has got a bad network. Never mind, let me start and then let's see how it progresses. Good evening, everyone. We Weave to Lead Toastmasters Club welcome you all to our 34th meeting. And as always, the meeting starts with stating the mission of Toastmasters International. And I'm just going to ask it again. Has anyone of you been
I'm
able
really
to
sorry.
memorize the empowering mission that we have?
Unforgettable woman.
I'm so glad you understand the real essence of the theme. But Toastmaster Seema, the mission is what drives Toastmasters overall. So,
Okay.
Himani, are you back now?
Yes, I'm really extremely sorry for this.
No worries. We are all ears to hear the Toastmasters mission from you.
Okay. So it's time to read out the mission statement of our club, which is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Without further ado, I would like to call the foundation of our club. Because of her, we have reached till 34th meeting in just a short span of time, and we have a long way to go. Please help me welcome our president, Toastmaster Jyoti Gupta, to take this meeting forward. So let's have a big round of applause for her.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Himani. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
By now, when I
Good evening.
please start unmuting yourself because I'm not
Good evening.
going to give
Good
evening.
such a warm welcome. Thank you so much. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat, Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. The teacher is a creator Brahma. He is preserver Vishnu. He is also the destroyer Shiva, and he is the source of the absolute. I offer all my efforts to the great teacher. I know Teachers' Day is already done by the weekend, but in Weekly Toastmasters Club, it's very important that we recollect the theme that we had on Teachers' Day all over again. Because Wednesday was gone, that was last week, and this Wednesday, we are going to have this Teachers' Day in a very special manner when we have our table topics. And the reason I'm calling it out now is because each one of us here in Toastmasters is a teacher for each one of us. And also we are students. So it's a collaborative learning. We volunteer, we come together, we put effort, work with each other, learn from each other, take and give feedback to each other. So let's not drop the cycle anywhere. Let's keep going because every Wednesday is a Teachers' Day for everyone in the Weekly. With that note, let's quickly begin the introduction of our guest. And first of all, I see our guest, Vishal Dhalwal, who was a little into the dark light and now he has removed his video. Vishal, would you like to introduce yourself? How did you get to know about Toastmasters, and specifically our club?
Actually, my name is Vishal, and
I think Vishal has. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually,
Let's wait for Vishal to come back.
मैंने ये first time meeting join की है.
Okay. We can hear you, Vishal. Okay. Let's continue with the meeting because we already had enough technical glitches. Vishal will definitely look forward to hear from you after you are completely settled. While we are just happy to start the meeting. And tell me, what can be more empowering of women when we talk about those who have brought enough enlightenment to the world and yet their names to be called upon? Of course, the women who have already made us proud. Our Toastmaster of the day has been very keen and very hardworking in preparing for this theme, the Unforgettable Woman, because as she is also a woman and the efforts that she has put in to bring forward those women who might not be into that much limelight all around, I think it's time for us as well to look forward to them and go back and look forward to more such people who actually make a difference every single day with their efforts. Without much ado, let's call upon stage one of the women who is going to talk about the unforgettable woman, Toastmaster Priyanka Verma.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How are you all? All good? Please try to make some attention and try to make session more interactive. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I would like to congratulate everyone for completing the 34th meeting of Weave to Lead Club. And a thunder round of applause to each one of you for starting your journey with Toastmaster. There are women who are amazing and achieved a lot in their life. Some of them were in a spotlight, and we also know their name, like anyone can tell the name, like Indira Gandhi, Sarojini Naidu, or we can say Kalpana Chawla, Sunita Williams. If it talks about politics, Sushma Swaraj, Mamata Banerjee, and lot more. However, there are women who did unforgettable deeds, but never came into spotlight. They were different from us because they have questioned prevailed norms in the society. And when they didn't find the answer, they set on to find the answers themselves. Before proceeding further, let's discuss the structure of our Toastmasters meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 sections. First one is prepared speeches. In this section, our speakers will deliver their speech. In second section, this is table topic section. This is a fun session because we have impromptu speeches and where we get on the spot topic to deliver a short speech. Plus point is that the guest also can participate in this. And then we move to our third session, that is evaluation session. Now, let me invite our most cheerful General Evaluator TM Himani Singh on virtual stage to introduce herself and the tag team. Over to you.
Hello everyone. So today I'll be playing the role of General Evaluator. The window is freeze now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
The screen is okay, great. So today I'll be playing the role of GE. So what is the purpose of having GE in the meeting? Well, I'll be evaluating everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I'll take notes on everything that happened, good or bad, or does not happen at all. I look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of the duty. Now, second part, why evaluation is important? Because evaluation leads you to grow. It breaks that glass of comfort where we are sitting relaxed. If you will apply the constructive feedback in your life's journey, you'll grow and thrive and definitely become the better version of yourself. That's why evaluation is important. To help me achieve my GE objectives, how much street smart and dynamic person I am as an individual. I need a team to fulfill my GE goals. So here I come with my tag team. So first of all, let me call upon the person who is always eager to take up any role and play it wholeheartedly. It's not like she takes up the role just for the sake of it. So please help me welcome our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Anchal.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Himani. Today's theme is Unforgettable Women. There are a lot of women from various fields who have shown their magic while serving the humanity. Some names which grabs our attention are someone who made her contribution towards welfare of people, giving her life for social work, Mother Teresa. The first woman to serve as the Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi. The first woman who went into the space as on a space shuttle, Kalpana Chawla. The first woman to serve as United Nations Civil Police Officer, and also the first ever women officer in India, Kiran Bedi. The first ever Indian woman to win a Women's Tennis Association, Sania Mirza. So these are a few names from various women and you will notice that these are from different fields. So if we consider that they have marked the impression in different fields, and this motivates us all to work hard. So a congenial evening while remembering all those ladies who motivates us all through thick and thin in our life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today I will be playing the role of grammarian, where I will be taking note of good and not so good usage of grammar. I will also introduce the word of the day, which is entitled. The definition is the right to a privilege or benefit. The synonyms are right, claim, title, license, permission. So the sentence can be all the teachers are entitled to be honored and appreciated for their hard work they are putting on us. Other sentence can be today at Toastmaster meeting, I was given the entitlement to act as language evaluator for the first time. An entitlement to learn how we unconsciously make silly mistakes. Now, let me introduce the idiom of the day, which is through thick and thin, meaning to stay together under all circumstances, no matter how difficult the situation is. Sentence can be, our teachers are the one who help us through thick and thin. So let us all actively use this word and idiom of the day as much as possible and improve our vocabulary along the way. Everyone is requested to show a thumbs up whenever the word of the day is used. The medium of communication is English, and if someone speaks in any other language apart from English, he or she is requested to kindly translate it into English language. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nachal, for your wonderful introduction. Now let me call upon our counter of the day, who is always remain very vibrant and energetic. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Rashmi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I hope everybody is fine. Well, as a teacher, I keep a check on my students. As a mother, I keep a check on my children. And as a cook, I have to keep check on the spices to be added to the vegetables. So in today's meeting, I'm going to play the role of our counter, and I'm going to keep a check on some filler sounds like ahs, ums, like, etc. I make an appeal to all of you to please be conscious while delivering your speech or while speaking, and try to reduce the use of filler sounds, because these sounds make your speech less interesting. So I'll be presenting the report at the end when I'll be called by the General Evaluator. And that's it. With this, back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Rashmi. Now, let me call upon our debutant, Toastmaster Ritesh. He's playing the role of timer today. So please help me welcome him. Toastmaster Ritesh.
Yes. Hi, everyone. A big good evening to all of you. So, as it is said, as I am playing a role of a timer, so as it is said that time is a very important, plays a very important role in one's life. So I will keep a check on everyone's duration, how much they are taking time in their speaking. So like in every show which we see in reality shows, that time is there for everyone in the cooking show, in any show. So as we say that time is most important, so I'll play the role of timer. So thank you.
Thank you,
Over
Toastmaster
to you.
Ritesh.
Yes.
All the very best to you for your debut.
Thank you.
Now, moving forward, one of the Greek philosophers has rightly said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. So here we have active listener showcasing the importance of listening more than speaking. So for that, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Kshitij Madan. Kshitij, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster. So I hope everyone is fine. So I will be telling my responsibility. So I hope the screen is visible. So my role for today will be the active listener and a listener. So what active listener is? So we can see that lead by listening. To be a good leader, you have to be a great listener. So I am sure that we all are great leaders. So for to be a part of this great leader, we have to be a good listener. So my role for today would be to be a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. As a listener, I will note interesting information from any of the speakers and ask questions near the end of the meeting to see if everyone was paying attention. So let's really quickly listen and let's understand and revise what we have heard so that I can ask few of the question at the end. So I hope we all are really excited for this test at the end of this chapter. So yeah, over to the Toastmaster.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Kshitij. Okay, so we'll be presenting our report at the end of the session. Now it's time to hand over the virtual stage to T-Mod.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator. दीवारें ऊंची है, राही है तंग, लंबी डगर है पर हिम्मत है संग, पाँव में छाली है, सांसें बुलंद, लड़ने चली हूँ आजादी की जंग. Which means if the walls are high and the streets are narrow and your journey seems unending, still have courage and keep walking, fight and win the freedom. These lines are dedicated to those women who have sacrificed their life just to remove an evil from the society. Now I have quick question for all of you. Does anybody know? Just a minute. Yeah. Does anybody know who was Sudha Varghese? Can I have some volunteer?
Ma'am, I'm not sure, but is she anyway related to Varghese Kurian, the milkman of India?
Varghese?
Kurian, the White Revolution.
You are different. You are thinking differently. She's not. Any other guesses? Okay. So that means
I
yeah.
have just one. I'm sure I'm right or wrong.
Okay.
Like she's an TV artist, or like
You are
no.
far from the
Okay.
place she is.
She's a social worker
Okay.
and she has done good work in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, nice. You know little about her.
Not much, but little.
Okay, great, great, great. So I guess few of us know about Sudha Varghese. So for benefit of our group, let me tell a little about Sudha. Sudha, at early age, Sudha realized that the discrimination with Dalits. She has dedicated her life to make aware the people for their rights, which are Dalits. She was determined to make a difference. And after studying her law, she went back to Patna and set up an NGO that is called Nari Gunjan and spread the education for women, vocational training and jobs. She set up a band of women and drummers. We can't expect even nowadays. Band of women and drummers who used to play and sing in Bharat during wedding. I know most of you would relating it to Band Baja Bharat. The band got popular soon and they started getting many invitations to play during the wedding season. These women feel more respected as they were not getting the respect. She has set up a school and hostel in Patna. That's all about Sudha. It's not a lecture actually. Now it's time to jump into our next section, that is prepared speeches. Before I called upon the stage our first speaker, I would request the General Evaluator, TM Abhishek Devraj, who is the VP Education of Ajmer Toastmaster Club, to introduce our first speaker, TM Ritvik, and objectives of his speech. Over to you, TM Abhishek.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening, for such a warm welcome on the virtual dais. Good evening, everyone, distinguished guests as well as fellow Toastmasters. Our speaker for today is Ritesh, and the purpose of his project is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Timer, please note that the timing durations are from 18 to 22 minutes. The relevant green card and yellow lighting card has been shared previously. I wish our speaker all the very best. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Abhishek. Let me welcome our first speaker, TM Ritvik. He is a poet and anti-caste activist. The title of his speech is Where Movement Carved Those Aspirations. TM Ritvik, Where Movement Carved Those Aspirations. Over to you, TM Ritvik.
Father, who's driving that car? Well, he has bought the car. He's the new owner of it. But why did you sell the car? Because I was facing some financial problems and I'm entitled with the responsibility to handle your education, and I have to help you through thick and thin in your life. And I believe education is more important than these luxuries out there. But suddenly what happened? I had faced some problems. So let's not talk about that. Just keep quiet and sit down. No worries. We'll manage another one in future. But father, I don't want to have education. Mitalamis gives a lot of homework. Please, father, bring that car back. It's not possible. Now that I've got your attention, good evening, Toastmasters and guests, I will be continuing with the scene that I was just playing in my future speech. But before that, let me give you an introduction of how my speech will look today. I will take in references of 4 such incidents that happened in my life, 4 such moments basically that carved my aspirations, what I am today, and what I want to become tomorrow. In making me a feminist, an anti-caste activist, and a civil services aspirant. It's a coincidence. No wonder we are talking about empowered women And I am talking about me being a feminist. So let's move forward with the first incident that I had, and in continuation with the play that I just played. It was back in 2013. My father had faced a financial fraudulence from some of these government officers. It was so much so that our family moved into serious financial crisis, and he had to sell off his favorite Bolero car. It was 6th of August 2013. I was in class 6. I was in front of our colony near the streets, along with my father on my left side. The car rolled down the streets with someone else's hands on its steering wheel. I can see the emotions flowing out down the tears of my father. You have seen your mother's crying very normally when she sees those serials. But have you ever watched your father crying? It's of a different level. And I had experienced that being a class 6 student. Now, that 6-year boy won't be able to draw those creative designs on the misty windows of that Bolero car. That Bolero car's sound of its engine will not wake me up from my sleep when my father used to come home in the morning. That was his work, basically. And all of these things together were actually creating a lot of things that I had to handle in future. But still, my father chose my education first rather than these luxuries. I've got my education in an ICSE medium institution, and we all know how expensive those schools are. And no wonder what I am here. It's all because of those sacrifices of my parents. And I made a promise that I will become a part of the same fraternity that cheated my father. I want to become a civil servant. So those officers were not civil servants, they were part of the government, but not really civil servants. And I have a wish, an aspiration, when I will be able to afford the car back, buy back the Bolero again. One day, on my father's birthday, 12th of February, I will blindfold him in the morning, take him into the streets, give him his car keys, and show him that Bolero car that I had again bought back. To some, it may seem Bolero doesn't have any value today. It is. But it is more valuable than a BMW and Lamborghini today. It's the vehicle of my dreams. And that's the first incident that took place in transforming me, my aspirations, my career aspirations, basically. Let's move to the second incident. Now, given the instructions by the surgeon at arms, I won't be taking any reference of any such religion so as to not make it look derogatory. Rather, I will give a very unbiased reference to it and speak in third person. I am born with some ascribed statuses, basically some privileges that I started hating later in my life. As the Tiamat spoken about Miss Burgess, she also led an anti-caste activity and movement all over the country through her art and music. The same way, I also do that through working in NGOs and writing poems. It was one of these days when I was in class 7, and I am born in a religion which is in present the majority religion in India, and to the highest caste of that particular religion. Trust me, I'm not bragging about myself. But listen to what I'm going to say in just some minutes. It was a certain ceremony where our community have to go through a process where we are given a thread to wear for the rest of our lives. And it's a privilege of only one caste, not of any other 3-4 castes, only of our caste. And I remember that day, there is a ritual in that particular ceremony where the Purohita will be taking you under a veil and will tell you 2 instructions for life which you have to follow. First, there's going to be a religious mantra which you have to chant every day after you bath, holding that thread. And second, an advice that he'll give you, which can be customized to his own whims and all. He told me never to mix up with a lower caste person. A class 7 child reading ancient history, he himself experiences such moment where a so-called person in a so-called 21st century tells him to have an unequal behavior, demeanor towards a certain sect of people. That's how I became against my own privilege. After some days of that incident, after that ritual takes place, we have to stay room locked for 2-3 days, in which we cannot see the sun. That's a ritual. And while I was going through the ritual, I watched a movie on B.R. Ambedkar. And I remember one of these scenes in that movie where he was leading some anti-caste movements and he was speaking to the public, to the Dalits specifically. And there was a member of the so-called high caste who was taking part with them. That is, he was going against his own privilege. So since we think that when we are a part of a community, we have to always go on speaking for our community and go on going against other communities, that's something that character in that movie taught me not to do. Rather, I learned to judge things with logic, with the rational, and without thinking whether I will benefit from it or make a loss out of it. To think like a mass. And that's how I became anti-caste. And that paved my way for breaking these barriers, these divisions of casteism through my own efforts, through my own piece of art, that is poems. Now let me come to the third incident. It was 2 books that I read in class 11 and 12. Well, trust me, I was a very materialistic person when I was in class 9 and 10. I used to see dreams of corporate and all that. I used to have a civil services aspiration in my mind, but I always used to think of I'll be doing these things at the same time, investments and all that while I'm in power, basically misuse my power for my own benefits. And it was in 11 and 12, again, that I was reminded of the things, societal problems, taboos and stigmas and dogmas that I had once experienced 3 years back in class 7 in my way of getting into that privilege. It was 2 books by this author, Khaled Hosseini, The Kite Runner and Thousand Splendid Suns. Both of these books are based on the life, political scenario and background of Afghanistan. But both have a different story to offer and obviously different characters in their own ways, how they lead their life and what hardships they face in their life. That was the first time when I was actually reading about a foreign country with worse conditions than my own country. And trust me, that book will stir your blood. Will just make you, it has such a power, I tell you. It's a prayer, I must say. Prayer for the social needs, social objectives that one should have. And that book really transformed me. Till today, those incidents, those words that he used gave me nightmares. Yeah, give me nightmares. And he was successful in writing the book, I must say, because that's what he wanted to say. And today, when I see what's happening in Afghanistan, without taking any reference of political things here, I am really shocked. And that's how I became an internationalist. And since we are talking about women, let me quote here one of those great quotes by Kalpana Chawla. I'm not a citizen of Punjab. I'm not a citizen of India, but I am a daughter of the cosmos. Can you imagine this mentality? Can we just imagine how togetherness, brotherhood, or sisterhood, it's the age of feminism, we can use the such words, she has espoused through her quote, and I've learned that from her. After all of this, not only did I turn out to be an internationalist, but also a social reformer to bring a change in the society. Coming out of that materialistic shell that I was suddenly going to have on me. This mantle had to be broken. Again, now comes the fourth incident. I went to an orphanage. It was near my school. It was a birthday of one of my father's colleague's son. So he had invited us. And I learned how greatly one can celebrate his birthday by going to an orphanage, come old age home, and offering food to them. So I went there, and I was just sitting with my father in a room, and suddenly a person entered, and everyone stood up. I asked my father, what happened? What happened, father? What happened? Why all they stood up? Well, he is a WBCS officer. What is that? I asked my father. He said, it's West Bengal Civil Services. He's a civil servant. And since he entered into our room, we all stood up out of respect. Now, that day I found that person serving food to the children, orphans, and some differently abled children and the old people. So I loved that down-to-earth behavior and demeanor that he had. He being a so-called very important person, VIP culture that we have in our country, he still has that down-to-earth attitude in his life's dictionary. He goes to the people and he serves food to the oppressed and the deprived. And it touches my heart, to be very honest. I asked my father that, is it so possible being in WBCS to serve mankind? So he said, yes, they directly serve mankind. They interact with people. People come to them with their problems. And if you're an honest officer, you can change society by your work. I asked my father, what is basically this WBCS? So he told me it's actually called PCS. For West Bengal, it becomes WBCS. For other states also have the similar service. Then I asked my father, isn't there any service which is higher in hierarchy than this service? Then my father told, yes, it is. There is a service. I asked, what is the service? It's Indian Administrative Services, IAS. I just fell in love with that tag, IAS. I then asked my father, what is that? It is a service of the central government, which you will be having a lot of scope to work in, and then you can do service for the mankind. And that's how that seed was sown in me. I went to Delhi University, and you know what exposure you get there. Presently, I'm online, but still, I have friends who are preparing for civil services, and I got this dream of becoming a civil servant in future. I also read about a lot of things. I love the character of different feminist characters in movies, and I also love Taslima Nasreen, who is also a feminist. So I also espouse the way she has been actively participating in certain movements through her way and inspiring women in the whole all over the world. With all of these things coming in, feminism, activism, anti-casteism, internationalism, equality, and civil services aspect. All of these things makes a circle something that I had learned through incidents, through moments. Today we are talking about different unsung women heroes. So let's get inspired. Let's not only go to a temple and worship the idol just because it's an idol. Let's worship the philosophy behind. I am from Bengal, and I have seen people worship. We worship Ma Durga. So let's take it in this symbolic way that let's not bow down our heads before the idol. Let's bow down before feminism that she symbolizes. Ma Durga symbolizes feminism, and Mahisasura, whom she kills, symbolizes toxic masculinity or patriarchy. So let's worship the philosophies. Let's get more philosophical, sociological, serve this country, serve this society, serve the whole world, and serve humanity. And with all that being said, I must say, I have a wish. I have a dream. I have an aspiration which was carved by moments of life. That's all from my side. Over to the TM. Thank you.
Well done, TM Ritvik. Such a wonderful rhetoric. Listening such an amazing speech enriches us. You have told about your childhood and how you have overcome the anti-caste problems. And then you have break the barrier, and now you become the better person. And you are doing the work for this. And you are the IAS aspirant after this. So kudos to you. Illiterate are not those who cannot read or write. They are those that cannot learn, unlearn, or relearn. Before proceeding ahead, can we take a group picture? So, President.
It's not the president's job, it's the tech master's job. Can I request everyone to please come on the video and show your beautiful, your intellectual faces? I can't see our guest Vishal, Amit, Arjun. Would you like to come on video and get clicked? Kshitij is the best. He always makes his hair before a picture. Okay, I can't see our guest coming on the video. So on the count of 3, we'll be clicking a picture. And what can be the symbol? I mean, any expressions that you want to make. Anything that, yes, I like Ritesh. So it's all up to you. On the count of 3, you will be on the camera, in the roll as well. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Over to our team of the day.
Before proceeding ahead, I have a question for all of you. Did you know that how many women were killed and tortured at the name of witches? Can anybody name the person who has abolished the myth around witches? Can I have some volunteer from our Fifth to Lead Club? Okay.
Toastmaster Rashmi raising her hand.
Okay, Rashmi, please tell. What
I'm not sure, but is it Raja Ram Mohan Roy?
Please speak again.
Is it Raja Ram Mohan Roy?
Raja Ram Mohan Roy. No. Any other guesses? You can see the picture and also relate.
I'm not sure, but I'm not very sure, but maybe Jyoti Bai Phule.
Jyoti Bai Phule. Okay. That's not the right guess. So let me tell about who she was. She was Birubala Rabha. She is an orphan and never went to school. She got married at the age of 16 and had 4 children. Her elder son was mentally challenged. They went to Ojha. As Ojha were considered doctor, equivalent to doctor in her community. He told that her son will die soon, but son survived. Rabha understood that when the Ojha is unable to give the solution for a disease, then either they tell the person will die, or in case of a woman, they spread the rumor that she is a witch. She decided to fight against this superstition and other evils in the society. She has joined Mahila Samiti in her village. She saved 35 women in other village with the help of police, as Ojha was asking ransom or threatening them to outcast of village. An uneducated woman who was orphan brought such a wonderful change. How grateful she was. Has this story touches your heart? If yes, please comment in chat box. Now it's time for an amazing session, table topic. I would like to hand over the stage to our table topic master, TM Sakshi Mahajan. Over to you, TM Sakshi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Priyanka. Very good evening again, everyone. So we are going to have some interesting table topics for today, which will be based on the theme, as Jyoti just mentioned in the beginning, on our respected teachers, the ones whom we loved and the ones whom we were not so fond of, and the ones whom we were like in awe of them. So as we begin, I see that our dearest Jyoti is not having any role today. So I would like her to come forward first.
Sure, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and there are some topics on that. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is this my topic?
So Jyoti, this is for you. The biggest lifetime lesson learned from a teacher. Since you're a very sincere one, so we have chosen a very sincere topic for you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I was in class 6 when officially the English language was introduced in our curriculum. I basically studied from Punjab board and we usually were considered to have the language English after class 5th. So when you will go in class 6, you will be officially asked to learn A to Z, and then obviously colors, name, fruit, and all that stuff. But because I was studying in a private school, so I definitely had been close to the language before class 6 as well. But afterwards, because the Punjab board curriculum says you have to start it from the scratch, there I was, back to the language English. And I had this teacher. People used to find her very strict because she was less talkative. But there was one thing very amusing about her. Every day when we had our class for English, she has this enthu to bring students on the stage and ask them to recite the same application or maybe same essay or anything that she will teach us that day, revised like n number of times till the period would not end. Trust me, I'm sure it must sound very repetitive, but I was the topper in the class. So every second day, she'll just call me on the stage and imagine me reciting sick leave like 5 times in the class. Well, I definitely did that. And trust me, because of her, from that early age itself, I got a kind of enthusiasm, a fondness for the language. And I think she only taught me the lesson that persistence and regular hard work is what pays you back. Till date, I still remember those people in my early age who kind of helped me make my English sentences better, pronunciation. Even I think I have more fondness for all the people who taught me languages. I still remember my Hindi teacher, my Punjabi teacher, and specifically this teacher that directly came to my mind. Because the effort that you put in the work that you want to accomplish definitely brings fruits. And those fruits for me are having Toastmasters in my kitty from quite a while and serving as a successful president so far. Over to the TT Mobility.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. And now going ahead, I see we are privileged with the presence of team Yashika here. So, ma'am, can we have you for the next table topic?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Hi. So before we go to the topic, I'll just like to share a small instance, and with starts revision, it goes like 3 6 18, 3 7 21, 3 8 24, and 3 9 28. 3 9 28. I was in 3rd standard when I said this, and before I could realize what I have said, I got such a tight slap on my face from my maths teacher that now I can even forget my phone number, but I never forget that 3 9s is 27. It's not 28. So Yashika, if you also share some similar experience when you were, bashed by your teacher, so that is the topic. Next topic we have. I'm going to share my screen again. Here's it. So do you accompany me in this experience, or I'm the only one in this house who has been slapped by a teacher?
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get so lucky to get a tight slap for the maths, but definitely I did get once, but not from the teacher, but from a lifetime teachers. My father once gave me a tight slap for the same. Um, as it says, there's always a story whenever you come to the stage, and when it comes to the maths is always practical, and I was the kind of the kid who was always used to get scared of those scales, of those numbers, but who knew that who will be ruling one day. But then again, inch by inch, I took my steps forward to bridge the gap between the language and what I used to have. And unfortunately, I was not that lucky, but fortunately, I was lucky enough to have one of my teacher from the class 7. I still remember her name. Her name was Nisha, and she used to teach her math. The only complaint she always used to have for me was she's always smiling and she's always sleeping. So whenever it comes to the maths, it make me wonder, what am I going to do if I'm going to make fumble? You can see this bright smile, but do you know what's behind this? The nervousness. Don't ask me to for the calculations. I can't do it better without the calculator. So I have always been a kid who used to do the homework or maybe copy or always pray because my name come from the Y. So I've been lucky enough to not get a tight slap, but to stand outside the class because firstly it was like the privilege to be a girl. It's going to be backfired soon for the statement, but then again, then we used to. Have this thing that whenever we got the opportunity and whenever we were not in time or taking time for the homework, so we were asked to go and stand outside rather than teachers giving us laps. So this is the story I have for. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, team. Thank you. It was lovely hearing you. So next, can we have Vishal? Guest Vishal, are you there? Okay, moving on.
Yes, ma'am, yes. Hello.
Okay, so you are there. Okay, Vishal, we have a table topic for you, and I'm going to share my screen for that.
Okay.
That teacher in whose class you could not help but sleep.
Vishal, would you like to switch on your video as well, please?
Yeah. This girl is sleeping in the class.
Nice. Was there any instance when was there any teacher in whose class you always used to sleep? Matlab, you couldn't concentrate on what she is teaching, but you used to sleep. That she was so boring. In short, sorry to say this word.
No idea, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, no issues. Moving
Would
on.
you like to just introduce yourself to the club, Vishal? Just take your 1 minute as a table topic speaker and introduce yourself to the club.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, my name is Sal. I'm from Haryana, in Kathal district, and I'm a developer, website developer, and I'm actually I have own agency for digital marketing, clicking technology. And that's it, ma'am.
Why did you join us today? Are you looking for any special purpose from Toastmasters?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, I improve my English language.
And how did you get to know about our club?
Fine. Good.
Okay. We'll leave you. Thank you, Vishal. Over to Toastmasters. Very good attempt.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal and Jyoti. Moving ahead, we have guest Arjun. Arjun, will you like to take up a topic?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to share my screen. The topic for you is that teacher from whom you used to run away.
Okay, yeah, thanks for giving me this topic. Yeah, in my school days, I remember, like, to be very frank, that I was not good in studies, and most of the times I like to run away. So, like, if I talk about before the interval, I was always there in the class, and like, I pretend to be studious, but I was not actually. And after the interval, most of the times I bunk the class. So was that was the true thing which I'm sharing. And because after the interval, I was least interested in attending the classes, and usually I run away from the classes.
Guest Arjun, I guess there is some network issue.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry for that. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I was trying to say like, hello.
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead. Now you are visible, but you are not audible.
You are on mute.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah, actually, thanks for giving me the interesting topic. But what I was saying, like, if I remember my school days before the interval, most of the times I was quite like attentive in class. But after the interval, most of the classes I bunk. Actually, I just leave for home because I remember I was quite naughty kind of guy, and then I just most of the classes I don't attend actually after the intervals. And I try to cope up. I was even taking the tuitions from those teachers whom I'm like getting the lessons in the classes in school. So I was able to cope up like after the school as well. So yeah, I can say like there's no such particular teacher like I run away from them, but it's like just after the interval, most of the times I am not there in the classes. So yeah, thanks for giving me this topic.
Thank you so much, Guest Arjun. Thank you. Okay, so I guess I see I have covered almost all the guests and the ones who haven't taken up any role today. So now the topic which we have next is very interesting. Trust me on that. So who is ready to volunteer for that? Can we have a volunteer for that topic?
I think we can give a role to somebody who has a role, but is not going to spend enough time on the stage. Maybe our auxiliary role players, maybe Toastmaster Seema, because she's a joke master. So she's just going to come on the stage once.
Fine, I'll be there.
Okay, so I see a bit raised hands also, hands raised. Okay, so Jyoti, going with Seema ma'am?
Sure.
Right. The teacher who was so beautiful that you could not focus on the subject.
Interesting.
Thank you.
I remember my childhood days, though the teachers, they are known for their love, dedication, and patience. I remember when I was in class 4th standard, my class teacher, Shobha, she was such a beautiful teacher. I can't forget her till date. Until date, I call her once in a while on her birthday, which is the 9th of August, every year. She was beautiful, tall, slim, and she had long hairs. That long hairs I've still not seen till date. That used to roll to the floors. And she used to tell us, hello, everyone. And she was, very lovable, and every student used to love her. And while after teaching it, whenever she wanted to tie her juda, she used to tell her, please close your eyes. And we used to close our eyes and sit down. And, we used to at times get up also and see what is she doing it. Time and again, everybody used to do the same thing. But she was one of the best teachers, beautiful teacher. Not only beautiful, but she was physically beautiful, no doubt. Internally, she had a golden heart. A heart which nowadays we find it difficult for the teachers. Teachers of the old days I find really beautiful, and she's still my one of the favorite teachers. And though I've come across many teachers, but the childhood memories are very strong. That's it. I wish to meet her once again and see how beautiful she is now. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema. I could see Kshitij was very excited to take the topic, but somehow he missed it. Kshitij, I have another topic for you if you are interested. Okay. So we are going.
Before this question, like your question was so tough, so I raised my hand low.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the next question is for you. It is your set of friends who used to do buttering to teachers to earn those brownie points.
Yes, I think I could really relate with this question in my personal life. So there was not one, but bunch of people. So I tell you one experience regarding my graduation only. So last year, while in one of my course in my graduation, so it was related to Northeast and policies. So I was a very during my graduation, I was a very hardworking people. I used to spend my lots of time in doing my work, like reading and so much. So but then I realized that I'm not getting the marks which I truly deserve. But there are so many people who are not giving their best, but because of doing buttering and having a very smooth relation with the professor, they are getting the great marks. So that was a time I have a argument with my professor, that professor, I think hard work should be given much preference rather than this buttering. So I think this question I could really relate, because during my school also I have this problem that I never used to did this buttering and all these things, because I used to believe in hard work. But time and again I have faced this challenge that people who did their best in doing buttering, or they are very close with the teacher or professor, they always get good marks. So I think, yeah, this was my response.
Great. Thank you so much, Kshitij. Toastmaster Jyoti, can we have some more topics, or we should stop here?
We are already running short of time, so
No.
sorry.
No, done. Fine. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being so supportive. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Priyanka.
Thank you, Sakshi, for conducting such a wonderful table topic session. And a big round of applause to our guest and Toastmasters for wonderful rhetorics. Now, let me welcome our General Evaluator, TM Himani Singh, to start the evaluation section. Over to you, Himani.
Hi, everyone again. So since we are celebrating Teachers' Day today, I realized that in every meeting of Toastmasters, we get to learn from each other. So in Toastmaster community, it's not just one person from whom we learn. I mean, in fact, in every other meeting, we can find a great teacher in every other person. So with this note, let me invite the person who was the savior for me at times when I need an immediate help during the conduct of the club. At times, he acted as a mentor whom, when I needed some evaluation tips, he walked through thick and thin of our club's journey. Please help me welcome the area director of C1, Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Himani, for such a warm welcome and helping me a short nostalgic journey of how it has been for last 7 to 8 months. Am I audible? Because I can still see Himani's video going. There seems to be some network issue on my end.
Yes, you are audible, Abhishek.
So yeah, last 7 and 8 months have been really exciting, energizing, and enriching. I don't know how much I have taught you, Himani, as an evaluator, but trust me, and I've shared this many a times with the club president, Toastmaster Jyoti, that I've learned what perseverance is from both of you. What means perseverance? If somebody has to ask me in a table topic, I'm going to quote both of you. And I hope I win the table topic that day. Or I'll use it for my district one if I ever go back. Moving on, beginning with my evaluation. Timer, please note, I'll be beginning my evaluation. If you don't learn your history, you tend to repeat it. They say that there is no better teacher than history itself. It doesn't matter whether the history is of yours or of nations or of your society in general. But learning it helps you decide the future course because history tends to repeat itself. Today, our speaker was attempting a keynote style speech. Ladies and gentlemen, that means he was speaking for 18 minutes at a stretch. That, considering that a basic speech is of 5 to 7 minutes, that is 3.5 times more than what we usually speak. Kudos to you, Ritvik. Great job. More often than not, we are supposed to take up inspiration from others, but he took inspiration from himself. There were instances when his life transformed him and his journey, the way it happens with us. But he decided to make it for better. And that shows the determination and the grit an individual possesses. What I love is that you found a learning opportunity in all the 4 instances, be it when the bolero was lost, be it during the Janeu ceremony, or be it during when you saw someone how to celebrate the birthdays better. It was always a learning experience because we are physically more often than not present everywhere. It is being mentally present that ensures that we learn something away. I enjoyed that how you have taken learnings all through your life. What I would like you to work upon as is certain vocal variety. For example, Papa, what is there? Who's driving my car? I had to sell it. I could feel, but I could not hear the somberness in your father's voice. Similarly, have you ever watched your father cry? A father, a man crying is a big deal. Say that through your vocal variety. When it comes to content, I would like you to recommend a couple of things. You said serious money problem. Now, serious is a filler word. Use it somewhere the money situation was jeopardized, or my father made a deal, and or rather he was cheated that jeopardized our financial situation. It gives a better understanding of the situation. Now, you yourself said in a previous sentence that your father was prioritizing your learning. So don't say that I chose your education. Use the same word because we could know that your father was prioritizing his luxury, your luxury, in an attempt to ensure that you become a better individual. Thirdly, I would request you to work on your hand gestures. You were great when you showed us the 4 things, but you forgot to tell us about your internationalism. Similarly, you wanted to take your father on 12th of February with a blindfold. You could have said, and you should have gestured, walking him to the car and opening his blindfold. Finally, as an aspirant, I would love you to do some research because your speech, even though not political, but had tones of it. You're coming from an area of Matra Bhagya, Daya Bhaga system of family towards when you go to East. Work on those things because if you want to become a keynote speaker, if you want to become a BCS, that is Public Service Commission Officer, your content has to be historically correct. There were many infractions of historical inaccuracies, which I could see because of my legal background. I would urge you as a student to work on them to make your content even better. All in all, it was a very good speech. I enjoyed and I loved the attempt. Please work on your vocal variety, content, and hand gestures to take it to the next level. I wish you all the best. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Now I would like to call upon our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Anchal, for her report.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, once again. So the report is ready. Some of the good usages are aspirations, feminist, misty windows, fraternity, blindfold, ascribed, privilege, stigmas, persistence, nostalgic, enriching, superstition, perseverance. And some of the not so good usages are wood relating. Some speaker said wood relating to band baja barat. I think that would be would relate instead of relating. You have break the barrier. You broke the barrier. She is an orphan. She was an orphan because we were talking about the past. And I was happening an argument. I had an argument. This was my response. That was my response. Apart from this, two words were spoken in Hindi, though they were translated in English. Matlab, meaning, thereby, and juda. I think we can call it a bun. And apart from this, the word of the day was used twice, once by Ritvik and other time by Toastmaster Himani. And entitled was also used once by Ritvik. That's all from my report. Thanks. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Anchal. Now, please help me welcome our counter of the day, Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, here is my report. First of all, let me tell you the names of the speakers who were flawless. TM Ritvik, TMod Priyanka, TM Abhishek, and TM Archal were flawless. There were some R's and Ums used throughout the meeting, like TM Sakshi used R's and Ums 5 to 6 times, TM Jyoti twice, guest Yashika used R's and Ums 2 times, guest Vishal used R's and Ums many times, guest Arjun also used 6 or 7 R's and Ums, whereas TM Seema used it once. TM Sakshi used once, and guest Arjun used like once. Besides that, everybody was good at their speech. Thank you, and back to you, Mithil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashmi. Now, let me call upon our active listener, Toastmaster Kshitij. Kshitij, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Just a second, please. So first of all,
With your video,
I hope.
Please keep your video mode on.
Yes. Right. I hope this is I'm visible. Right. So first of all, thank you so much for all the speakers for just their amazing speeches. So one of the takeaway which I can take from all the speeches, that the progress of any society depends upon how women are treated. So it is very urgent need that women should be protected and should be promoted at the same time. So these are my takeaway. So as an active listener, so I will be asking 3 questions from all my guests, and all the participants. So I hope we all are ready, right? So first question, which I will be displaying here in my screen. Yes. So what is the word of the day? Guest, any guest would like to try? So we have three options here.
Can you please repeat the question?
So you can see. First question is, what is the word of the day? So we have three options here. Any guest would like to try? So we have enlightened, entitled, and enlightened. So these are three options we have. Anyone? Yeah. So we have. Let me see the screen once. So yes. So speaker, with which dash you can try, please.
So it's entitled.
Yeah. So you what is so there? These are three options. So can you tell the option A, B, C?
Okay, it's option B.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So next question we have on the screen is this one. So Dash is also known as Sister Sudha, is a social worker, a Catholic non. She's the executive officer of Women Voice, a non-profit organization that provide education, vocational training, healthcare, and life skills for Dalit girls and women in Bihar. So who is she? Anyone? So we have with us. Yes, no, sorry, you were the one who has given this. So maybe someone else can try. So maybe Jyoti, you can, Toastmaster Jyoti, you can tell us.
Yeah, it was. I'm very sorry. I'm very bad with remembering names.
Sudha Varghese, I
Yeah,
think.
no. Yes, absolutely. Sudhavarti. And then another question we have on the board: the name of some of the world's most powerful women discuss. So Priyanka, our Toastmaster Priyanka, like she discussed so many women delivering her speech.
This I can try.
What did I'm sorry.
Yes, you can try this one, Toastmaster
Yes.
Jyoti.
She had talked about Indira Gandhi, then Kalpana Chawla.
So, yes, right. Yes, Toastmaster Imani, you can also name few of them.
Kalpana Chawla, she said, Sunita Williams.
Right. Yes. And the last question for today we have on the board is, this is bit difficult one. Two books which were discussed today by our speaker. Any idea? Like there were two books which were discussed by our speaker today. So yes, speaker, I think you can answer this one. Uh,
So should I?
yes, yes.
Shall I?
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
ma'am
yes.
will go. Ma'am will.
Yes,
It was
ma'am, please.
Kite Runner and the son of exact Kite Runner was one by Khalid Hosani and second one was also by him only.
Yes, so second one was
Splendid.
Splendid Sons.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for your really great. So this was my role for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kshitij. Now it's time to call upon, let's de-stress ourselves. As they say that laughter is the best medicine. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Seema for the jokes, for cracking the joke. Toastmaster Seema, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Let me share some funny episode of my college days. Way back in 1990, I'm sure you all will agree with me. During college days, going to five-star hotel was really a luxury. So I thought, okay, let me also have that luxury. Few of our friends, we thought, okay, this month we are not going to buy anything. We are not going to buy any clothes, no accessory, nothing. We are just going to go to five-star hotel. So we went to Radisson Hotel and we found, oh, ambience was so good. We took the entire round of the hotel, everything, going to lifts, twice, totally understand. Finally, we thought, okay, it's time to, order something. We went to one of the cafes. We saw the menu card and we saw, okay, fine, let's order something which we have never tasted before. So there was something called Mary Rana Risotto. We thought, okay, let's order this thing. We ordered this thing and we were very happy. Oh, something exciting is going to come. So the waiter comes after 10 minutes. He gets something in, some bowl. And we thought, okay, fine. Before that, he has placed, the plates and all. We were very excited. So we just poured in our plates and we had it. Oh, yummy. I asked my friend, Manju, doesn't it look like a sauce? He said, yes. But then we are tasting it for the first time. It must be like a sauce. But I wish we had not ordered this thing. We should have ordered something else. He said, now that we have come to the five-star hotel, let's enjoy it. So fine, let's enjoy it. We were eating, we finished with that sauce. After 10 minutes, the waiter comes and he brings the actual dish. By the time we thought it's all over, all over. We ate sauce and we thought that this is the dish, but that wasn't the dish. We thought, oh my God, what have we done? So it was really laughing. We all laughed and on our stupidity, but then it was fun to have the other dish. Then what was the learning lesson for us? So whenever we are going out, we will order that, the one which we know the names. We will not go for anything fancy. All that glitters is not good. That was the learning lesson. Thank you so much.
PM Seema, we can also track the ingredients.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema, for bringing the humor in the house. Okay, so now it's time to call upon our debutant, Toastmaster Ritesh, for the timing report.
Yeah. Hello everyone. So as we all know that I was a timer for this meeting, and we all have done an exceptionally awesome in their speaking skills. So let's see how well it has gone on the timer side. So first we have speakers, TM Ritvik Dash. He has spoken an excellent speech, and he has also completed completed his time limit of 15 to 20 minutes, and his time was around 19 minutes and 3 seconds. So well done, TM Ritvik Dash. And on the table topics front, the time limit was around 1 to 2 minutes, but yes, as we all know, these table topics can go more than 5 to 10 minutes, but we have two persons which which well completed in 1 to 2 minutes, like TM Seema Jairat and TM Kshitij. So well done, both of you. And all others are around 245. Guest Arjun, guest Vishal has around 37 seconds, but yes, he has spoken well for the first time. And TM Yashika and TM Yashika is around 2 minutes and 15 seconds. TM Jyoti around 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 18 seconds. So next we have on the evaluation front, the time limit was around 2 to 3 minutes. And TM Anchal Jain has done exceptionally good in 1 minute and 35 minutes, while others like TM Abhishek Devraj 4 minute 42 minutes, 4 minute 42 seconds, and TM Shitesh 4 minute 40 seconds. And Rashmi Sikri around 55 seconds. So yes, that's all my report. Thank you. Over to you, Timot.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritesh. It doesn't feel like that it's your debut. Very comprehensive report. Okay, so
Thank
moving
you.
forward, can we have the polls now for the auxiliary role player?
Yes, Toastmaster Himani, they are on the screen. And in case anybody is not able to vote, please feel free to drop me a personal message on chat under the tag TechMaster. I can't see people voting. Are you facing any issues?
We can see the results instead of we can see the results instead of
Yes,
seeing
auxiliary
the polls.
results. All results are being shown, Jyoti. We cannot cast
Okay,
them.
let's do one thing. Let me relaunch it. I'm very sorry because it was launched mistakenly earlier. Now it's there on the screen. Over to Toastmaster Himani. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's get started with my evaluation, with GE evaluation. Okay, so I'll start with Sergeant at Arms. That was me. I have started little late, but our meeting started with a great energy. Everything is freezed. Can you all hear me? Yeah, it's okay. Our meeting started with a great energy, but again, there was some technical glitch. So one recommendation for me that I should work upon on my Wi-Fi. Second part, coming to the presiding officer, opening remarks were apt as per today's theme. Guests were warmly welcomed. So coming to T-Mod, well, T-Mod is entitled for a great appreciation today as she has taken a full-fledged role for the first time. I think T-Mod is the very crucial role to conduct a Toastmaster session. She has come up with a theme with a pictorial presentation, which is good part. Now coming to the recommendation, Toastmaster Priyanka, you could have introduced the Toastmaster session in an elaborative way for the benefit of the guests. Because, for example, you just said the third session is the evaluator session. So in that, you can describe two or more lines just for the benefit of the guests. And similarly, you can introduce the role players as well in a slightly detailed manner so that people feel welcomed. So yeah, so when you were showing the when you were showing the pictorial presentation about the unforgettable women, so you could have shown the work that they have done in the form of pictorial presentation. So that because visuals are more, they are ready to. I mean, we get aware that yes, it is being done by the people. Coming to the TTM, well, TTM smile is good enough to bring the great energy to the meeting. So best part was that 3 9s are 28. It brought much needed humor. Your topics were great and were really simple. And you also encouraged people as well to take up the topics. The one recommendation that I want to give that you have not explained your role in the beginning for the benefit of the guests. And maybe second recommendation, you could have encouraged other members to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Coming to the evaluator, well, he started off with a history thing, very well explained. He explained the commentation part with example, also the recommendation part with example. So everything has been demonstrated with example. The one recommendation that I want to give is the overall summary could have been more elaborative and in a motivating way. Then I come to grammarian part. Well, she started off with a theme of teachers, given the word of the day and idiom of the day, wrote in chat box as well. Kudos to you. She has rightly indicated the observations related to incorrect grammar usage. So one recommendation, you could have presented your report in a PPT form and also the word and idiom of the day in the pictorial presentation. Coming to the aha counter role, well, same recommendation I want to give. But before that, you explained your role really well. And recommendation, you could have used the Excel format to count all the R's, all the filler words, so that people remember that what are the filler words that they have used during their speech. Now coming to the active listener. Well, our active listener was really good in his role. He presented the significance of the role with the PPT, asked really good questions. One recommendation, your sitting position could have been better. Now, second, we have the joke master of the day. Well, she shared personal story. She spoke with full clarity and confidence and gave the message also in her speech. So kudos to you and please keep it up. No recommendation for you. Coming to the timer part, well, the report was quite comprehensive. As I said earlier, it was not, I was not feeling that it's a debut. So kudos to you. You have very well explained the role, presented the timeline guidelines in a visual form, and then the report as well. It was also quite comprehensive. So many congratulations. I think I have completed all the members except the table topic speakers. But since we are short of time, so I can give you the feedback on the personal chat. So that's it from my side. Now I would like to hand over the stage to our presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Himani, for your crisp and clear general evaluation. And now you can see the poll for the best role player on the screen. And before we talk any further, can I request all of you to come on your video mode? I'm sorry if I'm being too anxious today, but I really love to see faces on the screen rather than just talking to a blank wall. Yes, I see everyone on the screen. Thank you so much for doing that. We'll quickly begin with the feedback. So who do we have in the house? First, I would like our guest Vishal. Vishal, would you like to share how did you like the meeting? And this was your first time?
या मैं एक्चुअली मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ आपसे?
जरूर कीजिए.
हाँ, बस इसी बात की दिक्कत थी. एक्चुअली मुझे मीटिंग बहुत अच्छी लगी और बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला, नए दोस्त मिले, उनसे बातें करने में अच्छा लगा मुझे. अच्छा लगा मुझे कि अपनी चीजें शेयर करते हैं, बातें करते हैं. एक्चुअली मैं पहली बार जुड़ा हूँ इस चीज से, तो मुझे नहीं पता था इतना इंटरेस्टिंग चीज हो गई. तो मुझे मतलब वाकई अच्छा लगा ये चीज. हेलो.
हाँ जी, बहुत ही अच्छी फीडबैक है. थैंक यू सो मच. पहली बार जो भी टोस्टमास्टर्स ज्वाइन करता है उसे ऐसे ही लगता है कि कौन सी जन्नत में आ गया है. I'm sure you will keep having such experience all time around here. Let's move to our next guest. I have this exciting guest.
एक्चुअली मुझे पूछना था टोस्टमास्टर क्या है वैसे?
आप 10 मिनट दीजिए, हम 10 मिनट के बाद आराम से इसके बारे में बात करेंगे.
बिल्कुल.
Next, we have our area director, Toastmaster Yashika. It's a surprise, a pleasant surprise to have you on board. We both have been part of Toastmasters Club of Speaking and Leadership for quite a while. Your experience overall and your feedback on how did you like our club?
Trust me, every time, whenever I see your message on the group, I always want to join. But somehow today, after so many months, I got the opportunity to join, and it was a great meeting. And I was not able to join when it starts, so I was pretty late. Sorry about that, but I will be coming again. And in fact, the theme was very interesting, intriguing theme, and the topics chosen by the table topic master were very great, and it reminded me of that what I could have written at that time, a point of time, 3 8 like 28 or whatnot. So definitely it's memory lane down that recalling that how we used to go to school, and remembering all the teachers we like, favorite teachers, and the teachers we used to skip classes for, and we used to run away from. And definitely, and good theme. Kudos to all the team members, all the role players for playing the role so wonderfully. And I'm also surprised to see Toastmaster Abhishek here. We are also member of one of the club together. And so yes, this Toastmaster is like full of surprises. We keep learning from each another. And definitely I'm looking forward to learn from all of you. So I'll see you all again once again. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. It gives me a lot of excitement when you say you'll join us again. Come as a role player, because as a club that operates every Wednesday, we prefer to have a diversified culture wherein we invite people from outside as well as the people who are members of the club. So it's a dual experience, a dual learning experience as well. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? If I do not reach out to you, but you want to share your feedback before we come back to the awards. Meanwhile, I'm sorry, I'll have to delay the results because we have our Toastmaster Priyanka, who felt that her conclusion was still pending. And I think she deserves to complete it because she has put in immense efforts. So Priyanka, 2 minutes in your kitty to wrap up your PMod.
Thank you, TM Jyoti, for giving me the opportunity to conclude. I would like to conclude with the happy feeling that I could spread some awareness about these amazing women today. Do remember that success is never final. Failure is never fatal. In the end, it's the courage. It's the courage to continue that counts. Over to you, presiding officer.
Wow, that was such a crisp conclusion. And yes, it's the courage that you should continue to be a Toastmaster and keep participating, because there is no other way apart from being here all the time and learn eventually. Now we'll move to the awards. Any guesses for the best auxiliary role player of the day? All eyes on the screen, please. And everyone on unmute mode as well, please.
It should be a tie between Toastmaster Seema and Toastmaster Ritesh.
Wow. That's quite an interesting way to.
Toastmaster Seema.
And okay. The best auxiliary role player for Weekly Toastmaster clubs 34th meeting is our joke master, Toastmaster Seema. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong certificate on the screen. I'm very sorry, but still Toastmaster Seema, it was a well-deserved role.
Thank you.
And you'll get your certificate offline again. Any guesses for the best auxiliary role player of the day? Please don't blame me if you've already seen it on the screen. The best table topic speaker for Weekly Toastmaster clubs 34th meeting is myself, Toastmaster Jyoti. But trust me, there was a close competition. So I usually see this is a culture in WLTC wherein not one person is usually able to win the certificate. Even for the auxiliary role players as well, Toastmaster Seema just won with 1 vote. So kudos to her. Lastly, any guesses for the best role player of the day? Guys, speak up. You pay on this platform to come forward and share your heart out.
TM Priyanka.
Well,
Maybe tier TTM.
if you don't trust me, I can show you the results, but this is the same scene which happens every time. There was a tie between 3 people. Then one person suddenly, came forward and gave one more vote. So the best role player for Weave to Lead Toastmaster Club's 34th meeting is a General Evaluator, Toastmaster Himani. Yay! So Toastmaster Priyanka and Toastmaster
This is a
Sakshi,
surprise.
kudos to both of you. Don't be disheartened and just beat that person who votes Toastmaster Himani just one additionally than you. Congratulations to all the winners. We'll quickly move to some major announcements of the day before we come to the last session. First of all, we have a new Toastmaster who has joined us recently. And it's a pleasure to have like 2 Toastmasters joining us, one each week. Like earlier it was Toastmaster Shitesh. Today it's Toastmaster Ritesh. So welcome Toastmaster Ritesh to Weave to Lead family. I will not say I hope, I'm sure that you'll have a great learning experience with us because all the people that you see on the screen, of course, in the WhatsApp group are always there to help you out. So take your best opportunity and explore the next 6 months just for yourself. Any comments from you? Like you were a guest last week, this week you're a member. Any special feedback?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thanks to everyone like TM Jyoti and TM Imani for regularly contacting me regarding the enrollment. And yes, I haven't much prepared before the meeting, but before just an hour or 2 hour, I have prepared the slides and these things. So while evaluating also a bit managing everything, but yes, I have learned many things regarding it and how to focusing on the things. So yes, I will keep continuing my learnings. And it was great meeting to all of you. It was a great meeting today. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritesh. Just to let you know, you don't disclose your secrets to people. Otherwise, next time when you have a fruit of winning a certificate, people will count that it was just an impromptu attempt. So always say you prepared well.
Yes.
Next, everyone on the WhatsApp group must have observed that we have launched a program, Toastmaster of the Week and Toastmaster of the Month. This award is specifically designed for people who are a part of the club and who regularly participate in the meetings. So if you would go to many other clubs, this program is pretty much prevalent. And the reason is very normal. Like we want people to come forward, take roles, participate enthusiastically and prepare well. And on that basis itself, when you have a scorecard in front of you, you know how well you have performed or the hard work that you're putting in is finally bearing you fruits. All the Toastmasters already know the details of the program. You get 2 marks if you attend the meeting, 3 marks if you take up a role, and finally 5 marks if you win a role. Any questions so far from anyone on the program? Everyone is so smart. Look forward to have the results for this week. If you haven't been able to guess, try to think about it who could have it today. Lastly, a huge thank you to each one of you for being so energetic and so prompt on the stage to bring energy and vibes to this meeting. A special thanks to Toastmaster Anchal. I know she had her kid making noises in the background, but still she made sure that she would do her role till the end. So she actually is a hard worker who is very much committed to stay in Toastmasters and learn every week. She has left the meeting, maybe her child wanted some dinner. But with that note, we'll close the meeting with our signature step. And Toastmaster Yashka, don't tell me if I copied it from TMSL because I've not. I just wanted something very unique and something very much kind of customized for Weave to Lead. And Toastmaster Sakshi, do you know what is the signature step that we have been reciting for WLTC from quite a while? I am going to deduct your 2 scores because you do not remember. Toastmaster Chitich, I know you are a very excited Sam. Do you want to give it a try?
Actually, I have a same problem of forgetting things very quickly.
Okay, 2 marks deducted for you as well. Before the signature step is, and we'll say it afterwards, everyone. In Weave to Lead, we don't want our champions. I'm sorry, Toastmaster Yashika, I started repeating TM results. Just I saw you on screen. I'm very sorry.
I'm looking forward to contribute here.
Yes. I'm very sorry, guys. The signature step is in Weave to Lead, leaders don't stop until they are on the top. Now, when I count on 3, Toastmaster Kshitij and Toastmaster Sakshi, you should be the loudest guys in the class. 1, 2.
Please make us revise in that case. What was it?
Yes, please.
1, 2, and 3. In Weave to Lead.
In Weave to Lead.
Leaders don't stop.
Leaders don't stop
until they
reach on the top.
Until they reach on
the top.
Toastmaster Priyanka, you get 2 additional marks from me. And Toastmaster Abhishek, you.
Thank you.
Still on mute. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'll request to our guest Vishal to stay on. So if he wants more details around Toastmasters, I can help him around here. And everyone else, please have a great evening and enjoy your dinner. Goodbye. See you next
Good night. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Good night.
Hi, Vishal.
Hi, ma'am.
Do you still want to listen to us?
Oh, sorry. No, I did not say it. Sorry. I was lost somewhere. Like I'm leaving.